Good morning. So yesterday I went ahead and planted a section of the pond, just this little front corner section, but it's a start. So we have Philodendron crassivinium here, which I kind of have like a broken tree effect thing going on there. I'm going to try to find a better top piece for the fallen log. We'll see. But anyway, the point is, this is a nice creeping, climbing philodendron, so it will grow up and crawl all the way down and over. I actually saw a similar display of this in a terrarium set up by Cara Wade. I fell in love with it immediately, which made me feel extremely happy that I actually have a few of these crassiviniums available to play with and try to replicate it in some way. So I kind of took that from her terrarium, but hey, when you see something you like, sometimes you gotta replicate it to make sure you really like it. And then over here I have some Sigonims, Pink Splash, that I just planted in there to kind of give some color underneath the Alocasia. I'm unsure of the species of the Alocasia, so we'll see. I'm being attacked by a deer fly. Joys of living in Florida. Everyone's like, oh, I'm jealous of your weather, but yeah, man, take the bugs with it. So, and these, I forgot the name of them as well. They're really pretty. They're cool. They're rhizomatous, so they won't completely go nuts and send runners everywhere. They grow fairly slow at a nice moderate rate. Everything here grows at a nice moderate rate, which is what I'm going for. I don't want to have to, continuously trim this. Over here, we have Philodendron pastazanum, nice big old philo. I'm going to plant it there to provide some nice, that's the north, some nice shade from the north onto the pond here, nice natural shade. And then down below we have Philodendron narrowleaf, or Philodendron jungle boogie. Narrowleaf is the tissue cultured term for it, and jungle boogie is, I guess, what the original one was called. I always thought it was the other way, but I was corrected by the lady who owns Excelsior Nursery down the road. So if she's wrong, let me know. And then you have some Worsleas. Those are one of my favorite flowering plants. I'm going to try to incorporate them somewhere, but they're really picky about what they're in, so I may have to make like a standing box for them or something. And then some Propanthias. These are cool for color. They're great. They're going to be probably not here. I haven't decided on where they'll go. They'll be put in probably last, just as accents or something, to make it pop. And then another Sigonym right here. I am unsure of the SP on that one. I have it written down somewhere, or I don't remember. I think that might be one of the mystery plants I have, but I like it. I like the color. It kind of goes well with the variegated ginger that's back there. There we go. I'm gonna keep it there. It's in a pot, but I like it. It kind of is a good backdrop. So yeah, and then the back side over this way I have Philodendron Dark Night, which is going to climb up, and hopefully around that way. I'll try to train it to the left of the tree a bit, but it's one of my favorite philodendron. It has a nice triangular shaped purple leaf that it puts out as its new leaf and then fades to a nice emerald green. This one's hungry and been getting hit by the sun, so yeah. Once it has food and climbs up, it gets that nice rich purple. This is Anubias Asphalezzi, or Asphalezzi. This was in my 55 that was on my porch that I broke down because I'm setting up 240 breeders in its place for more farming space. So I decided to put it in the pond. It's not tied off to the wood down there right now, so it kind of has drifted over this way. But it will be more in the center where I had the camera sitting once I tie it off and everything. And then right here I have just some more various Anubias Nana and Nana Petite. In here I'm going to do a nice stem planter that I'm going to allow to grow emergent. Basically, I'm going to allow it to grow out of its pot and out of the pond and be kind of like a cool little boggy situation just before the outflow drains into the main pond. I have to trim and replant these guys. They were converting. That's Ammonia persimmons or persimmons. Never pronounced that right. Prosperchenia palustris, Diplolis diandra, some Mariophilium, also with some Cabamba, some Ludwigia arcuata, and then Ludwigia repens arcuata, Hydrocotyle, Tripteraria, Japan, and then some Glossostigma and HC cuba, as well as another top of a display of another tank that was on my porch that I'm breaking down for more farm space, the little rimless. I don't know if I've ever shown it, but I had a cool little biotope rimless for some silvertip tetras, but I need more space to grow plants underwater, so I had to break down some of the cooler displays I had up, but I'm making one big, massive display to kind of incorporate pieces of it all, and yeah, make it so I have some sort of artsy-fartsy thing to dork around with to satisfy that part of my brain. So yeah, all of these will be taken out. Basically, I'll pull the bins out, top them, replant them, clean the bottoms up. If the bottoms are salvageable, I'll leave them. If not, I'll toss them and completely replant the stems, let them do their thing. After I do that, I'm gonna put bricks underneath the Tupperware. So right now they're just in like shoebox size Tupperware with my dirt blend, which I'll do a video on my dirt. I have some ready to make, so that'll be down the line. Basically, it's just my mineralized topsoil mix that I've altered from previous hobbyists, and have made what works in a pond. It works in an aquarium. It works anywhere with no algae, as long as I cap it well and don't. The trick is, and this is why I have it in Tupperware, and this is key to remember if you're setting something like this up, don't do the farming inside the water. So remove the bucket out of the water, do the farming over there, meaning farming is in like horticultural cleanup, so trimming, any kind of like replanting, stuff like that. Take it out of the water, do it over there, then put it back in once it's fully planted. The reason for that is that way the soil doesn't get disturbed in the water, you know? You're cutting out a huge mess by just simply picking that bucket up, taking it over here, doing the work, and then putting it back in. And you can do that for all of these. So that's why I made it in the planter buckets like that in the pond, so I don't have to worry about disturbing the soil inside the water, because that's the biggest, in my opinion, that's one of the biggest causes to algae outbreaks inside aquariums. And I imagine that would be way worse inside a pond once the soil gets disturbed and the bright sun starts beating down on all the water with all the nutrients and various soil bacteria floating around in it. So yeah, it also makes it modular for scaping purposes. Like these were all just tossed in here, but my goal basically is to make this pond look like you're staring at like a top down of a really cool Dutch tank. So obviously it's not set up right now, how it will be once I finish getting everything growing properly. But because they're in these Tupperware, it's modular. I can move them wherever I want. And I have smaller sized ones that are about half the size of those, so I can make smaller patches of different plants too. So it's just nice. It's like my cup experiment that I did in the 40 breeder, where I grew everything in these clear cups to make them modular so I can move them around for pictures and such. It's like that, but on a larger scale. So, and it's working. The plants are happy. They're doing their thing. So yeah, I'm excited about this. We'll see where it goes. I have some more driftwood and more Anubias for the top part up there. Basically, that's just going to be home for a bunch of Ancestris that I have in tanks. I'm just gonna, they're getting a pond full of wood. They'll be super happy. So yeah, hopefully they breed and keep breeding, because they were breeding in the tanks they were in. But hey, I need space to grow plants. It's easier to sell plants than it is to sell fish. That and plants are my passion. Fish are cool, I love them, but more plant space is needed. So, but yeah, that's the pond update. If you guys have questions on how I did anything and you want to see it in specific, like me go over it, please post it and I will be sure to do a video on how I did specific parts of it. But I jump around a lot when I'm doing things, so it's hard for me to video as I'm doing things. But if you ask questions, I can go over it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you like my little pond oasis thing that I got going on here, and I'll be happy to share it with you guys as it evolves, and I'm excited to watch it grow. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share these videos. I'm happy to be finally back on and making them and feeling better enough to do all this stuff. I got a large list of videos to go over with you guys as far as topics and different cool stuff I have coming up. We have a makeshift studio in the progress of being built to do some green screen work that I'm going to start a channel tank as well. So we'll have a nice rimless channel tank to work on, and it'll be cool. So I got some cool things coming down the line for the channel, as well as just interesting things to share with the hobby as far as new plants too. So glad I'm back, guys. See you soon. Bye.